because Louis, I want him to know too because he's kind of nice.
Is he coming on, coming in?
Or at least we recorded, so that's fine.
All right. Oh, right, right, right. So yeah, so the capital S started as a typo at work. It was on this special tools banner that I used, and people like then people started talking about the Beaks tools. But for some reason, I liked the capital S. It looked kind of cool, like somewhat symmetrical, whatever. And then and then I was doing a refereeing a soccer game, and this girl had one of the letters, one of the other letters in her last name, one of the middle letters capitalized. And it was a random letter. It wasn't like, McMurphy or something like that, or where the second M was capitalized. And I said, "What's going on here?" Just curious. And she goes, "I like it." I said, okay. So I like the capital S at the end of my last name. But then the other thing is that I like to see when I do a capital S, like on my LinkedIn account, where does it come back? Does it come back in some other way from some random solicitation or whatever? So it's curious, it's just curious. And it does come back every so often.
I can imagine, like
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, like now. There you go.
I like,
Anyway, how are you, Yella?
I'm okay.
yeah.
It is busy times with preparing for Christmas and all. Like cooking,
Oh,
baking, looking up
Right.
recipes,
wow.
trying different things before I actually make them, so making some
Like,
pastries, cookies and all.
Right.
Just
wow,
some
nice.
snacks. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. It ain't much, but it's honest work.
A pity we cannot taste them. All right, you could share.
Yeah, yeah. Yesterday I had a nice pastry Christmas tree with cheese in it.
Mm.
Just to try it out. It was a small one and it tasted pretty good. I
Cool.
wanted to have some other fillings, but I just had cheese laying around or like it was vegan cheese. But yeah, I just wanted to try to make the Christmas tree, see how it goes with the pastry dough. So
That's
it worked out pretty well. So
you
I'm
have
just gonna make
pictures?
that as well.
You have pictures
Hmm?
because I like you have pictures of them?
I have one picture. It's not really good, but it's
Okay.
I can share it after.
Yeah, I like to see it. It's good. That's nice to hear. It's
Oh,
like
it's cold.
yeah.
Yeah, it's cold here. We have minus 14 my
Oh,
uh, Celsius. My daughter is out in Minnesota. It's at night it's going down to what is it, minus 30? Uh
Wow.
yeah.
That's
She
cool.
it's
called
like
she called me up and said my car won't start. And I said, "How cold is it?" She says, minus 25. I said, "Don't even," and she doesn't have the car plugged in. I said, "Don't even try to just get your boyfriend's car and he'll take you to work." Yeah. So
Or let it run when you come back if it's running.
right, right. But if you don't have a block heater for your car, you
Yeah.
just at that temperature don't even try. It's just
Right.
a
Yeah.
strain and everything.
mm,
That's true. Yeah. Okay.
All
Um.
right.
Yeah. And I have been very busy with lots of stuff. Like one important part is a long discussion with Peter and with Asbi about the maybe you saw that in the channel
The
about
default
default
settings.
settings. And I
Yeah.
completely agree with Yella. I mean, what you suggested is good. I mean, we can do that, but Peter and Asby always wanted to have you have to switch on the recording. I really don't like that. It should be
mm.
automatically if you want that. If, and if you
Yeah,
don't
I
want to
did read it
record,
again this morning. Like I think Peter wants to have it like always an opt-in like every time you start it up in case like you have like you switch a device around like a sharing device and then maybe you have like logs still on the device but then you weren't aware that they were made and then you give it to someone else and now they have the logs. I think that is
I think
the
so.
issue then because the logs themselves are uploading it is still manual like it's only on the device SD card so it's not like logging to the cloud or anything. So that's not really the issue. So it's mainly like sharing data between different users, I think. And then, well, there are some other ways we can do that. Like, we already have an option to delete all the log files on the SD card. Like that's already there. We have options to reset to factory settings, so it just reloads all the SD card settings and also deletes all the logs. There could be other ways we can like make a device shareable, but still
Something like
like
a special option that if you want to share it, you set the special settings. I think
yeah,
that's a good idea.
like early like in the development last year in summer, we talked about like having a simple mode and an advanced mode. We never really implemented that,
True.
but we can also look at, we have just like this normal mode, and then we have like a sharing mode where the sharing mode maybe doesn't have the real-time mode. Maybe it's just for logging, like you pass on the device, and then by passing it on, there's like maybe a menu option where you say like, I'm done with my device, and then it clears the logs, it clears like the history of the device, resets the setting, basically a factory reset. And then the next user starts it up and sees welcome to your Zen. So something like that is also an option. I don't know.
I like the last option. I mean, that is completely, if you want to clear it up for the next person, you set it up like that.
Yeah. Well, you can already do that, but then you have to go to settings, reset like menu, and it's a bit more presses, and if you forget it, then the next person has your logs, which is, I don't know, if you're logging, like if we remove all the journal logging and we make it all opt-in, then the times that you log, you are aware that you have logged and you might have uploaded them. And then you can remove them from the SD card as well. Maybe in the log viewer, we should remove a delete button as well, perhaps.
Yeah, that will be useful, but it's not a priority.
And all this avoids that thing that would be the worst thing to happen is like, oh my gosh, I forgot to record.
Exactly. I think so too. This is my more worry.
It's not like you're turning on a setting that's violating some privacy, rules or something like that. And opting in and opting out of recording data, I don't see an issue there. What are you giving up by forcing you to opt in? I don't know.
I think
it's
especially
mostly about sharing.
Fair sharing. But how many of those users share their device? I'm not aware of. Only Peter and maybe a few other people do that. Maybe some
he did share some data.
I mean, use and shared device. I mean, most of the people I know are using their device individually.
Yeah, Peter did say 95% is share use, but that's of the logs. So they're the devices themselves. I think, let's say there's like 100 devices out there. Then the ones that are shared use have the most logs because those are being shared and being used to log. And the person that just has their Zen isn't like actively driving around uploading logs all the time. So I can see that most drives would be from shared devices, but those devices are the fewest, I would assume. Like, I think a lot of people have a bGeigieZen just at home, not really doing anything with it, and then they can use like real-time mode, or they maybe can take it on a holiday, and then, well, you don't really want to go through all the like startup and then you have to start logging or get a question like, do you want to log? Are you sure? Also the GPS or not the GPS and just the CPM or all those questions. You just want to personalize the device a bit more. for those people as well. So I just thought like maybe two modes in
Yeah.
the end, like as like a final solution.
Mhm.
But just in like by default opt out, and then you have to opt in for the start manual logging is probably the easiest way to do this, as
Mhm.
well as like removing the journal logging by default.
And
I think that's turned on right now.
also when the starting and stopping, you get a message, so you can easily see if it starts to record or stop a recording.
Well, you can
You
easily
click in
see
that.
it's not
When
really
it
true. I mean, if you aren't paying attention, then the
yes,
message just disappears. So it's,
okay.
but
That's
it is true. There's a message.
um, mm. So let's see what's possible then.
Yeah.
And also, I've been looking more into the drifting and the issues with the GPSs, and couldn't find any how would you say that relation between the amount of satellites and drifting itself when it goes into a building and then it suddenly goes away, like the file from ASPI.
Yeah, but there's more correlation than just there's different correlations to look for, rather not just number of satellites, but satellite signal strength, um, you know, positional degree of precision,
Mhm.
um, horizontal degree of precision. Um, there's also some other metrics in there. You know, that's why Louis brought out all the PVT, possible
Technical.
PVT fields that could be used to find correlation, so we could filter those out.
But I
Hmm.
checked
Were
also
you able to find any correlation at all?
I saw some like if it's a high HDOP, there's the horizontal dilution, I think, then you can see more going away.
Right. Yeah.
But the funny thing is that if it's one time, if it's in a building or something like that, and it goes wrong, it keeps going wrong. That I don't understand because it should get updated information and it should understand that it's a different location. I
Yeah,
don't
but the
understand.
Zen or the Nano also had that
Yeah,
issue, I
no, no,
remember
also.
with so because here at my house when I had the bGeigieZen cast, I would sometimes see like it drifting off and then snap back and drifting off again. Like it would go all over the place, just walk around the neighborhood basically, in quite straight lines before like getting a new, maybe finding a new satellite and realizing that it's not out there, but it's still here, and then it stays here, and then after a while, it just drifts off again. So, I mean, that's kind of why we made the fixed mode within like a range of a location
So,
to just say, well, if you drift off, you're still in the same location.
mm,
Um, but when in a building, yeah, I don't know. You're not driving, so you
no,
might as well stop the log.
that's true. So just if you go in the building, switch it off, or if you go in the subway or a very long tunnel, just
Yeah, well, then you can keep it on, of course, but I think in a long tunnel there is way less GPS than in a big building.
true.
Like it wouldn't go drift that much in a
Yeah,
tunnel.
then that's true. Then just say everything is invalid because we don't have any GPS. And if it's in the
Yeah.
building, they get reflections and other things.
Right, but the other places to look for correlation is velocity and acceleration. You know, if all of a sudden your points jump out, like this was something that happened with the data that we got from Ukraine was, you know, it was an impossible acceleration,
Mhm.
point to point acceleration. I don't know, like I said, you know, like we've always said, that inside that GPS unit is a black box, right? So what is it averaging acceleration and velocity over time? And what is that time interval that it's averaging over? But if you look at point or a few points, uh, velocity, that it might be the indicator that we need. I don't know. I wish I had some time. I've been very busy. Um,
I
but
think we already tried a check like that for point-to-point distance, and if the distance was more than what a normal person could do in 5 seconds, or no, it was actually per second. Like even a plane would not be able to reach that. Like I think I put it like in 500 meters or something.
right.
Then I would invalidate it, but I can't find the check anymore. So I think we removed it as well. Um, Maybe it was removed with a merge,
Mm.
Right.
but it wasn't very good. It was just it would cover some cases, uh, but there are still like drifting. A drift would still fall within the velocity as if you were actually like walking that part or like maybe driving. So it's not really. You can't say like, oh, you're supposed to be standing still in a building. So if you now drive, like technically, or I don't know, if you now drive like outside, that would invalidate it because I mean you could, so it would be valid, but you can't really see it on the drift because we can't compare it with a map or anything. Like, oh, you're now going through a wall, so that's impossible. We that's
Right.
not data that we have, so it is still difficult, but there might be some indicators, like you said, like the DOP or signal strength to noise ratio, or things like that we could
There's
use.
even a flag called "Is GNSS fix okay?"
Mm.
You
Yeah,
know?
but the funny thing is that that one is okay. Like the GPS is saying it's okay, but also wouldn't log it.
Right.
Mhm.
So that's the data that comes from the GPS module.
The extra stuff for the debug log from the GPS, is it recording this kind of things? That you the velocity? I mean, you has a whole list of fields description you put in. I didn't check yet, but I saw the list.
I did add it. Yeah.
I saw that.
Let me just have the page not open.
I think that Louis came up with what he wanted to take out of it.
Yeah, I just copy paste
Mm.
what Louis made. Let's see. It is
In the last commit, you put it in.
scroll.
I think I saw that.
Yeah, you get horizontal acceleration, vertical acceleration, and some other things. Wait.
Come on.
Yeah, it's a bit slow. Wait, Uh, like the line doesn't say much, but it's yeah, horizontal acceleration or accuracy estimate and vertical accuracy estimate, NED north velocity, east velocity, down velocity. So I guess that's like minus or yeah, and then yeah, I think these velocities can be useful. Speed,
Okay.
ground speed, heading of motion, and S. I don't know what that is. Doesn't have a comment.
Mm. I will check when I do I go to into a building and know one of the buildings is kind of tricky, so I know it's going to be off.
Yeah,
To get it out.
yeah. The data is being logged, so
Okay.
I don't know exactly what the data is. This is heading accuracy estimate. Oh, speed accuracy. Okay, these are quite useful then.
Okay.
I
Let's
assume
see.
we can do something with that.
And then we can analyze what's going on.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah. And Jella had some. I know you've been busy with the cookies, but did you have time for the uploader?
Uh, yeah. So
Oh,
the where I ended last week, I was able to upload a log file with
big pasta.
like 10 lines. Um, then I tried to upload the one with 12,000 lines,
Yeah, something like that.
and
Yeah.
I think I got a timeout from the server because it took like 100 seconds.
Mm.
I realized that I had to increase the buffer to send more, because what I now did is I create like a payload, which is what's the format called again?
The server is
Just
going directly to the API or going through TT-Serve? TT-Serve picks it up
no,
directly
no,
API.
it goes directly to the API.
And the API
Yep.
sometimes crashes or it's so busy that it gives timeouts. So it's maybe not your
Yeah.
code. I was just thinking about that.
No,
Maybe your
but
code is
having it run for 100 seconds makes it very vulnerable to, like, maybe it crashes in that time. You know, it could be faster, and that is done with a bigger buffer. And I mean, I realized there is a buffer that we use for the HTTP server, for the config server, and that's 6,000 bytes to render the page and send it to the client. And I thought we can just use that buffer as well, because there would never be a request being handled at the same time as a log being uploaded, because it's in the same thread. So we can just use that buffer. Let's see. Let me just get this log. So yeah, the form is multi-part form data, which includes a file, because I'm uploading the file, not like a JSON with all the text or anything. And I'm sending it chunked because, well, that's the easiest way, so I don't have to load it all in memory, and it really works well. It took me a while to like hack it in there because it's not supported apparently.
Oh, that's good.
But then each chunk has to end with a new line, and I can't really cut up lines. So like a log line, if you cut it up like halfway, you have to add a new line, and that doesn't work. So I had to make some like temporary buffer where I put the line in, does it still fit in the buffer, and then send it.
Yeah.
I made something, it didn't work, so I'm trying to figure out why not. But I have a server running local that just accepts any request and prints out like the chunked stream and the headers and all. And well, if it works there, then I know that it will upload correctly to the API. But so far, I've not gotten the 12,000 file as I wanted yet. So
okay,
work in progress.
if you do, let me know, because then I would like to check it on the API. And being honest, the API is often you get timeouts if Peter is doing some drive checking, and it normally takes about
Right.
200 drives, and it tries to approve them and put them all at the same time, and then the API goes, "Coom."
Does the TT serve? Can I send it there to like measurements?
I'm not sure. I never tried that, because TT server is basically only routing data.
Yeah, but it's like it receives it and then passes it on. Or is it just
I'm not
literally a
sure.
router?
I'm not sure. I only sent it measurements, individual
I don't
measurements.
know if it has a log file endpoint even.
You can ask. I can ask Ray if it's possible. Maybe he knows. Maybe he made it, so he probably has some idea.
Yeah,
That
I do
will
know
make it
that
easier.
it does like take the whole request, then process it, like it moves some data around, restructures it, and
Well,
passes it
not
on to the
some.
API.
Everything.
Yeah, everything. Yeah, I know. But, okay, let's keep it at some
Some. But
for
it
simplicity's sake.
splits it up directly. While in the API, if you
Yeah,
see the log file, it's supposed to go only to the API. the API processes it and then puts it into ingest.
Yeah, but I mean, if we can send it to the TT Surf, which is more stable, then maybe, well, I would still send a bigger buffer, preferably, but it would be more stable to upload the file there if it then sends it to the API.
Let me ask Ray. Maybe he already has something like that. Because I remember one time, I'm not completely sure, that he was sending a chunk of data. So
Yeah.
maybe he already has something. So
Yeah, it would be the bGeigieZen imports.json endpoint. I mean, we can technically check GitHub. I think. Yeah, too many files.
Yeah, he has a lot of files.
Short. The names are too short. It's all in the root. I don't know. It's hard to navigate. Commit messages are a single letter. No, no problem.
What I do is
I wouldn't know.
I normally download this zip and then I use the indexing from VS Code to find things. Otherwise, it's so hard to find. GitHub will not find you. I tried that.
Yeah. I have to log in. Wait. I'm just gonna do a search. Wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let me first ask. That makes it easy. You don't have to take time for that.
Yep.
Yeah. Other things we still have we still have 10 minutes left, 9 minutes something. And I'm probably Friday or Thursday, I'm going to send out the shippings. And you wanted to have a cradle and you want to have boards and how to say, like a wire for your tube. That's all you needed. Huh? Or you want something else?
Let's see. What else do I?
Michael needs some things for me because I'm going to do shipping Friday.
I don't know where you are on boards, whether I should be upgrading the boards that I'm using right now for the 2 units that I've been testing with.
Up to you if you want it. The boards are more made for the new GPSs. I mean the layout is a little bit different, and you solder the wires instead of
Right.
the pin header. I have just small wires from a small JST connector.
Using the existing connector that comes with the GPS module.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice. It saves that
cleaner.
that challenging soldering thing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But once you have your board, it should be fine. I mean,
Right. Yeah, I have been keeping up with the new modules and like you said, what is it, the bZ module?
Mhm.
That seems to be that locks so much faster than some of these other modules.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, I was just kept looking in the PVT packet, and another area to look for correlation is besides the DOP, the degree of precision, there's also horizontal accuracy estimate and vertical accuracy estimate. Oh, sure, I'm gonna sneeze. And I'm just saying that it would be nice to take a log and just look to see what uh, you know, see if there's any correlation between any of those fields and what we've got, and when we're looking at, so we know when data goes bad.
Okay,
And I think another way to think about this is when is there an event that happens that I'm going to sneeze.
That's the event.
If there is an event that's that happens that is your first indication that you're going off track, right? To note that, even though the what follows might make sense, might actually fall within some sort of checking, set of rules that you come up with in terms of velocity and acceleration. But if you have an event that is outside of it, that says, okay, now it's suspect about what's going forward. It's take a look, the data that comes after this, you might want to look at something like, I don't know. I'm just
Mm.
looking at, just trying to find something that'll let us, because, like I said, sometimes you'll see these gigantic leaps and then things look like you're actually, 120 kilometers away, um, and stable, but what preceded it, you made an impossible leap to get there.
Yeah, I've seen that too. Those things, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Another thing that I've been working on is while I was preparing the shipments for the new Zens, I had to format the SD cards, and I noticed some SD cards just don't work on the core, and they work fine in the computer, and I can read and write to it, and no problem, and never do a check, a test, they're all fine. But once they go into the M5 stack, they don't work. I have no idea what to look for. I tried formatting, and I don't see it.
The formatting is identical to the other ones.
Exactly.
So
Fetch 32, and I even tried to completely erase them, and same. And
interesting.
from a whole batch, they're all from the same batch, the SD cards, same maker, same size, and then some don't work. So I have to check them all before I send them out. I have
Wow.
no idea how that works.
Wow.
And there was
Yeah, I
something
have
that
no
the
clue.
core S3, there was some issues, but I think the Yellow made a fix for that. I remember that. Maybe a few months ago, you had something. You changed some
I do
settings.
remember there was an issue, but I don't think it was a code issue. Um,
But now the SD library is
no.
used from Unified, isn't it? We're using that SD or is it
No,
separate?
it's not from the M5. It's just the SD library, Arduino library,
Mm,
which the M5 Unified also uses.
yes, yes.
So it's just SD.h or
Yeah.
something like that.
Okay. So that could not be it. Just something else.
Yeah, I don't remember how we fixed it, but if it did fix it,
It did,
amazing.
it did something. I don't know what we did, but okay.
It was either a very quick fix or it was maybe updating a library. I
Okay.
don't remember.
Mm. And Yella, that's all you wanted for me to send?
Oh yeah, I was thinking maybe a new safe pulse if
Yeah,
that's possible.
yeah. I can send
Because
you.
I'm not sure if this one is still good. Um, when I did have the Geiger tube connected, sometimes it would like give pulses, and then suddenly it would like get slower and slower, and like would lose pulses, and that it would stop.
Mm,
I'm not sure if it's because I one time like misplaced the core on the pins, and it got like I don't know, like a shortcut or something.
mhm. Yeah, that can happen sometimes. I've seen that.
And
The outside
I'm
goes.
not sure if it's the safe pulse or maybe the tube is not good anymore. I don't know. But a new safe pulse would be
Okay, I will send that.
better than
Yeah.
new tube. Other than that, not really, no.
Okay. that's all I had, at least for me.
Yeah, for me as well.
Yep. And Michael, you had
Same.
done? Okay.
Yeah.
I
All right.
hope you're all good Christmas and stuff like that. What you're gonna do, I think. So
Yes, and to you guys as well.
Yep,
not too many cookies eating. Baking
I
is good,
will.
but not eating. You have to try them.
I have to make a lot to practice.
True. Yeah,
Like
that's
I
true.
always bake some to see how the taste is, and then if it's good, I'll make more.
Good.
Something like
Right.
that.
And your cat also, right? Or you give something? Or
No, the cat doesn't get cookies.
really? I would
No,
give
she
God,
get
meow, give me also because I'm eating.
Really?
no. She has her cat snacks.
Okay.
That's what she
That
has
was
to live
good.
with.
Okay. Okay, good.
All right.
Okay, good.
All right.
Have a great week.
Thank you all.
Enjoy.
Yep.
Have a good week.
Bye.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.